Hey y'all, I'm Brandon and you are watching Rome. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, then welcome back. This week we're in the Jefferson National Forest trying to complete the notorious Virginia Triple Crown in less than 36 hours. I don't even know if it's possible. We're gonna be doing some solo backpacking, hiking, camping, and cooking. We're gonna be cooking some too. So stick around, we're gonna have some fun. All right, y'all, that does it for getting the truck loaded. Again, it's Friday, so I'm heading to work, but I will catch up with y'all here in just a little bit and we'll be on our way to Jefferson National Forest. See y'all here in a bit.
2,000 years later.
All right, y'all, so we are leaving work. It's a little bit after 3 p.m. and we got about 3 hours ahead of us. So until we're at the camping spot for tonight. But on the way there, we're gonna stop at Dick's. So we're actually gonna get there a little bit later. It'll still be fine. We'll have plenty of daylight to get camp set up. I went with the old green Columbia and got my Celsius. Sparkling starfruit pineapple. See how it is. Just kidding, I know how it is. I like this one. I had to make a pit stop. It's my kind of golf cart right there. Here we are, guys, Andy Lane Trail parking. You can see I'm here. I made it to Andy Lane parking, got the tent set up. I'm not going to set it up all the way with like all the awnings pulled out because I'm only sleeping here for one night. I just need to be able to get in and out and pack it up really quick in the morning. I coordinated with the Four Pines Hostel. They're going to send one of their drivers out to pick me up at 5:30 in the morning. But yeah, we're here. I'm excited. You know, I've wanted to do this trail for so long. One of my old buddies, I haven't talked to him in a few years, but I actually did one of the 3 like landmark features on this trail. I did one of them like a decade ago, and my buddy had told me about the Triple Crown, and it was just always interesting to me. I always wanted to do it, and now I'm finally making time to get it done. So let's get camp tidied up a little bit, get everything set up and put where it needs to go, and let's get to cooking, and then I'll touch base with you here in a minute. All right, back at it, guys. My Topo Chico. We got our bread though. Our honey butter. We're gonna get the potatoes and the carrots and some sun-dried tomatoes going in here. Finally. So, potatoes are going, the steak's going over here. I'm gonna just oil it up a little bit more. Might actually do some good to lay this steak over here on the other side. Let some of that fat drain off of it. And onto our griddle. That way our bread doesn't just automatically start sticking. That's what I'm afraid is gonna happen here. It'll probably be a little black right there on the bottom, just from cooking it on the cast iron. Oh yeah. Fork's going right through those carrots, so those carrots are done. Yeah, the potatoes. Yep. So that's good and done. It's getting a little bit dark right there, so I pretty much think it's done though. Might have to just pour this on. I'm trying not to get too messy right off the rip. Ah, that's good. It's crunchy on the outside, kinda. And kind of soft in the middle. Perfect. Got the old Topo Chico. I decided to put the shotgun mic on here with the wind cover on it. Hopefully that helps some. Let's try our vegetables. We haven't tried those yet. Try one of these potatoes. See if it focuses. Hot. Oh. Lava. Absolute lava in my mouth. I did the best I could. We're going to start getting everything cleaned up here. Alright, we'll clean that when we get home. I'm going to get some of this stuff and put it up front because I know I'm going to need it in the morning. All right, y'all, I think that does it for tonight. I'm in my bag here. It's Plenty enough for what we're doing this time of year. It's a 20-degree bag, so I'm nice and toasty already. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the morning. I just realized that I'm like an hour ahead of schedule. It is currently 4:40 in the morning. I've already been awake for a little bit. I got the tent put up and I'm kind of just chilling in the truck right now. All right, y'all, so my ride from Four Pines Hostel just got here. He's gonna give me a ride down. He's pretty confident that I can get this thing done. Well, I'm here at the Dragon Tooth trailhead. I'm gonna go up here. They actually have a hard structure latrine up here, a bathroom. I'm gonna run up here and try to use that so I don't have to use it on the side of the trail. The porcelain throne. My initial impressions is it's a lot less rocky than last week's hike, and my pack feels significantly lighter. Well, I'm like not even a mile into this thing and I'm already burning up. The sun is starting to come up. It hasn't quite creased the top of this ridge over here, but you can kind of see it's about to be pretty much daylight. So I checked the weather before I left camp, and it's actually supposed to be a really nice day. It's gorgeous out here already this morning. Behind me, I got the mountain laurel here. It's in full bloom. When it comes to boots, I've always been a morel kind of guy. They've never failed me. There's actually a particular boot that I like. It's more of like a mid-height hiking shoe, but they're waterproof and also kind of breathable. This is what they look like. I've actually found that it's difficult to find this model. I had to order these used on eBay. All right, so we made it up here. We got a few people camping behind us, so I'm trying to be quiet. I don't want to wake them up. Got about 3/4 of a mile up to the tooth, which is what I figured. And then we'll be busting it back down this trail and we'll be going straight. We came up over here to the left, so on our way to McAfee's Knob, we'll be going straight through there. Until then, we're gonna follow the white blaze. I made it to the part of Dragon's Tooth that kind of gets more strenuous. So before we tackle this next part, I actually want to go ahead and get some carbs in me, get a little bit of something, and drink some water. Water, bananas. Cliff Bar. Crunchy peanut butter. Pairs well with a banana. Oh, it's kind of cold. All right, let's get it. Hard to kind of put it in perspective, really. It's pretty out through there. Blue Ridge Mountains. They said this was a pretty strenuous climb here. I know you can't tell how steep that is. Maybe that can give it some perspective. Let's try it. Oh, we're gonna do it either way, but I think we're getting close. So that goes down. The trail goes up through here, so we kind of got to scale this crack in the side of this ledge. Oh, pretty steep there. Oh man. Well, I think I made it. Just a little bit further. We still have I think 20 something miles. So we're just getting started, but it's cool to finally be here. That was pretty sick, honestly, and a lot sketchier than I thought it was gonna be. Up there towards the top, I don't know if you could tell on the video, but it was pretty windy. I was worried I was gonna lose my drone there for a minute. I stood up at one point, right there on the peak, and a huge gust of wind came and about knocked me off my feet. So I decided to just kind of squat down and chill. But I've always wanted to hike this, so I'm glad that I knocked it off the list. I tried to sit there and kind of absorb it for a little bit, and I did, but we gotta keep moving. We gotta make it all the way to McAfee's Knob. Actually, try to make it past McAfee's Knob and set up camp before dark. we're actually making really good time. When I get back down to this intersection at the bottom where the AT intersects with the Dragon Tooth Trailhead parking lot, I'm probably gonna take a break right there, grab a snack, and rehydrate. Normally I make it a thing every time I go on an adventure in the outdoors. I pick up at least one piece of trash and I bring it out with me. So I'm hiking down the trail here and I stumble across this. I'm like, that's weird. I wonder what that is. And I pick it up and I think that is what people call trail magic. Typically, it's some type of like candy, like a candy bar. Usually it's some type of food or consumable, which I guess that right there is a consumable too, because I think that was some type of edible mushroom, but not the kind that you actually eat for sustenance. Anyway, yeah, I left that there. I'm not gonna bring that one out. I think I missed that on the way up. They weren't kidding. Steep and rocky. Worth it though. We're back to the intersection where we started earlier. I'm gonna find a spot over here to take my pack off and drink some water and find something to eat. What are you doing, puppy? What are you doing, puppy? Okay. You just follow that. All right. Yeah, but it's up that way. All right. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, you have a good day. All right, take care. All right, y'all take care. Back on trail. All these flowers blooming everywhere. It's wild. I've never seen this many in bloom in one spot. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're back on the trail on the AT, heading towards McAfee's Knob. From that intersection back there to where we're gonna camp tonight, maybe like 10 miles, which for those who haven't ever done like long distance hiking, 10 miles in the mountains feels like you're running a marathon pretty much. The point is, it feels like a lot longer than 10 miles. But we're not in a race. We're just out here having some fun. Man, it's always hard to put it into perspective on a video. But yeah, this is gorgeous out here. Also, I'm kind of off trail. And I need to figure out where I'm going. Anyway, quick little scenic stop. Where? Oh, here it is. Okay. I think. Yeah. All right. We're good. I just passed a group of hikers. They were section hikers working to complete, you know, the entire Appalachian Trail. They're southbound hikers. They started up at Mount Katahdin up in Maine. In that group of hikers, there was an elderly lady. She had to be 75, I'm guessing, but she was out here getting it on this crazy trail. They have to scale up to the Dragon's Tooth like what I did this morning. It's pretty admirable. I hope I'm still doing this stuff when I'm in my 70s or 80s, or maybe even, you know, 120 with medical technology. So we'll see. Stumbled upon something kind of cool. So if you look right here on the trail, you'll see some feathers, and you'll see some dirt right there. So it looks like there was some type of bird, maybe a quail or something, that got attacked going up this bank right here. There's kind of some disturbed soil right there. So it looks like whatever got this bird, probably a bobcat, took off up this bank with its kill. Kind of neat. The circle of life. We're heading the right way. North on the Appalachian. This is just a little bit sketchy. That's it's a power line right here, and we got to go underneath it. Oh, yep, okay, yep, okay, we're good. Four Pines Hostel right here. They are the folks that shuttled me out from Andy Lane parking to the trailhead this morning for Dragon's Tooth. All right, so this is where we parked this morning. This is where we camped last night. And we just crossed this road right here. These little white squares are mile markers. So we gotta hike 1, 2, 3, 9 to McAfee's Knob, 10, about 10 miles to come back down to Campbell Shelter that has our next water source. Before I filter water, speaking of, I'm gonna eat this other banana because it's kind of mushy and I don't want it to go bad. We're gonna hike past this next highway, and then we're going to go up to, we're going to pass the John Springs shelter, the Catawba Mountain shelter. Right there's McAfee's Knob. Here's Campbell shelter. That's where we're going to stay tonight, or somewhere near there. And then tomorrow we're going to get up, hike this way to Tinker Cliffs, and then we're going to hike on down the AT to where it intersects with the Andy Lane Trail. And then we're going to hike Andy Lane Trail north to where we parked the truck. Man, I thought for sure that would work. Yep. Let's try to not step in that. Also, good news, we're still on the trail. Going the right way. All right. little tight, a little tight. Oh. Okay. I found my one piece of trash, but I'm gonna take both of them. All right, well, I am officially across Catawba Valley, and we're starting to gain some elevation again. Man, stuff will wear you out. So we made it to the top of this meadow. There's a lot more elevation here than what it looks like on this camera. But right up there is Dragon's Tooth. That's where we were this morning. Still making my way up, definitely gaining elevation. I know one thing, it's a great day to be hiking. The weather's perfect. Maybe take like a 20-minute break or so, and then we'll get back on the trail. Pro tip, when you're doing long distance hikes like this, or any type of like outdoor survival, scenario, nuts are your best friend. Pound for pound, these have more calories than just about any food. One thing about these meals, before you open it, make sure you kind of shake all the stuff down to the bottom. And also, don't forget that there's one of these little packets in there. You got to take it out before you pour the water in. In goes the water. Seal this and shake it up, and you got to let it sit for 10 minutes, and you're good to eat. Look at that goodness. Minimal ingredients. Very low processing. I'm gonna sit here and eat, drink some more water, and then we'll get back on the trail. Well, that didn't last long. Ugh. We came at least 8.2 from Dragon's Tooth. I'd say we got 4 or 5 left, I think. All right, y'all. Well, that is the Route 311 parking lot. The Appalachian Trail goes over this bridge. The sign back at the parking lot said we had 3.9 until the knob itself. This is an example of one of the many shelters that the Forest Service and National Park Service put up all along the Appalachian Trail from Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way up to Mount Katahdin in Maine. Interesting fact, the highest elevation shelter on the Appalachian Trail is actually on Roan Mountain in East Tennessee. That's over there near Mount Mitchell as well, which is the highest mountain east of the Rocky Mountains. So And just some information about the shelter. This is the John Springs shelter. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And it's pretty standard to find a broom in one of these. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Pack up and get back on the trail. All right. Interesting turn of event. I took the trailhead, turned to where it said McAfee's Knob 1.5 miles, and I stopped there, and there was a guy walking by, and he was northbound as well, and I just happened to ask him. I'm like, man, there was supposed to be water at the last shelter, but I passed by and I didn't see any. And he was like, yeah, pretty much you have to walk like 300 meters down this drainage, and the creek is down here flowing. And so I walked down here, and sure enough, it's flowing, but barely. But we're gonna fill up on water right here. Well, here it is. That's our water source until we get on top of the knob and back down the other side. So all right, y'all, it feels good to have drinking water again. I was getting a little bit concerned. Wasn't an emergency or anything, but it didn't feel good. We're back in business. I'm still gonna try to make it to McAfee's Knob and Campbell Shelter tonight. I thought about stopping here at this shelter for a little bit, but I'm gonna resist the temptation. I'm gonna keep pushing. So, for real this time, let's go. I feel 1,000 times better after drinking some water. I don't know how many miles we're at right now for the day, but I think I'm hitting my second wind. I got like less than a mile left. I'll be at McAfee's Knob for the first time in like 10 years, so pretty cool. All right, well, I just passed 2 separate groups of people, and both of them said I was getting close. So, hopefully they weren't lying, because my feet are beat. I think we've officially made it here. Check this out. All right, y'all, so I don't know if you can see like all the way over there. There's a cliff line on that ridge. That is Tinker Cliffs. Well, Guess that's about it. The single most photographed spot on the entire Appalachian Trail is right here. Pretty sweet. Next up is Campbell Shelter. We're gonna try to get down there, lickety split, get camp set up, get to cooking, because I'm starving. Back on the AT. But yeah, McAfee's Knob, man, it's gorgeous. It's just as pretty as I remember it. You know, it's a super popular spot for obvious reasons. So you're probably rarely, if ever, gonna be up on McAfee's Knob alone, even at like sunrise or sunset for that matter. One last look before we go tearing down, losing elevation. But yeah, so this is the knob from the northern side. So you have to get back on the AT and go down before you can actually get here. Anyway, Tinker Cliffs, right over there somewhere. I'm pointing towards it, trust me. Back on the trail. That's kind of cool. You could probably camp up here. Technically, I don't think you're allowed to, but so I'm hearing this power line cut, and I just happened to notice way off in the distance over here, there's some like buildings and like structures and stuff off in the distance. Anyway, that is the last place I stopped, like in civilization. I stopped at a gas station over there in that town before parking last night. Yep, we're here. All right, so we're done for the day. Water is right down that trail over there. I'm gonna set my hammock up in between these two trees right here and get started on some food. Well, much better. I'm gonna fill this up so I don't have to come back down here tomorrow. So, both my Nalgene's are full and my Sawyer bag is also full. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but at the very tip top of that ridge, right beside that tower, is the silhouette of a white-tailed deer. He better not be there come November. That's all I gotta say about it. Just kidding. Peach cobbler for dinner? I think so. And that, my friends, was peach cobbler, brought to you by Keto. I think I'm just gonna relax in the hammock for the rest of the night. This is the life. I'm getting all comfy. I'll probably be passing out soon, to be honest. I'm gonna eat me a Quest bar, and I'll holler at y'all here in a little bit. Long day today, good day, perfect weather, but I'm ready for bed. Let's wake up and do the same thing tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. Morning, y'all. I slept hard. I slept really hard. I feel pretty good. I think I'm gonna skip this little freeze-dried breakfast meal, actually, and I'm gonna try to get on the trail. Let's go. All right, good morning again, y'all. We are back on the trail, on our way to Tinker Cliffs. We should probably have, from here, probably close to 4 miles. Oh yeah, so it's Sunday, May 11th. So happy Mother's Day. There's a cool breeze just blowing right over the top of this flat, and I swear, if I didn't know any better, I would say it was like, it felt like early November. It feels like one of those cool, crisp mornings with a light breeze. I love it. It reminds me of deer season. I've been looking for one of these this entire hike, but I finally found one. It's a whitetail doe hoof print. You can tell it's a doe because the tips of her hooves almost touch right there. I just happened to stumble across this thing right off the side of the trail. You could definitely camp underneath this ledge. It probably wouldn't be that comfortable, but you'd be dry. And you could probably start a fire underneath there. I just heard some wild turkeys gobbling down here. Let's see if we can figure out where they're at. That's where he sounded like he was. He sounded like he was right down there in that opening. Which I could have scared him off. Turkeys have really good eyesight. And they can hear pretty good too. So if they hear you or see you, they're gonna bolt the other way. That gobbler is fired up right down in this bottom down here. There he was again. If you've ever seen the original Lion King, this is where it was filmed. Hold on. Right there. Yep. Legend has it, Mufasa stood on that rock up there. Kind of crazy. It's my first good view of the day right there. and it looks kind of rough. Pretty sure this is the final ascent to that top ridge of Tinker Cliff. So 1.3. At least we got most of the elevation knocked out. Okay, had to take me a break and grab some water. I am pretty beat, but it's another gorgeous day. I had to take a break. I'm laying on this dead log I stuck my back on. This hike up the Tinker is no joke. That's for some more perspective there. Oh man, that right there back behind me is McAfee's Knob. And then way off over there is Dragon's Tooth. You can barely see it. Alright y'all, well, this pretty much does it for Tinker Cliffs. This is, in my opinion, the best view between all three monuments that we've been to. Dragon's Tooth, McAfee's Knob, and now here. You can just see the entire Catawba Valley from these cliffs. Anyway, we got like half a mile until we get on the Andy Lane Trail, and then we're gonna hoof it back to the truck. I'll see y'all on the trail. I don't think I'd want to fall in there. It looks a little painful. Oh. Okay, let's go. Check it out. We're walking like right underneath this huge rock formation. Really the north side of Tinker Cliff, so the formation that formed Tinker Cliff, we just crossed down below it. Kind of cool. All right, so we are officially off the AT and on the Andy Lane Trail. So we're on our way back to the truck. I can't remember exactly how many miles we have, but the good thing is it should be mostly downhill. Well, we got a bunch more of these cedar steps. I can't imagine trying to come up here without these steps, but anyway, it's gonna be slow going for a minute. I'll tell you what, going down is a whole lot easier on the heart and lungs, but it wreaks absolute havoc on your joints. It's like an old gate or something right here. You can tell it's old because it's that chain's growing around that cedar tree. Yeah, that's been there for a while. I just happened to look down at my waistband and realize that my GoPro tripod is missing. I'll be honest though, I was like 50-50 on that tripod because it only worked about half the time. So I'm not turning back for it, that's for sure. Oh. If this wasn't such a popular trail, I would totally take a dip in there right now. I don't want to get the cops caught on me, so. I just heard my first car, so that means the road is getting pretty close. I'm ready to drop this pack. Whew, and drink some water. I can see my truck through the woods down here. She's a beauty. It feels so good to be back to the truck. I about forgot something. We're wearing these on the way home. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Good gosh. It feels so good to be back in my truck. All right, by the way, I almost forgot. Oh, so we made our time hack. We actually blew it out of the water. 25 miles in roughly 30 hours. That includes sleeping, filtering water, filming. Yeah, we were definitely covering some ground. Three Little Pigs barbecue. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, and you want to see more content from Rome, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know every time we upload. We upload every Saturday morning, so make sure you come back. Lastly, and most importantly, until then, don't forget to reach out and move. I'll see y'all on Saturday.